Well, I should put this out because it's another important thing that's pretty much ignored by the medical mafia. God, I should put that out right from the beginning, medical mafia. The maca is a great herb, and you hear about it more because it's associated with sexual stamina. Actually, that's why maybe people don't take it as much. But it really isn't all about that. It's actually a lot of different things. It's actually your energy. It's anti-stress. It contains vitamins, and it's also helps boost your immune system. So it just makes you a better person, more energetic all the way around. I mean, yeah, that does improve your libido. Now, here's showing some of the maca powder in a coconut shell. Now, there's a few different types. There's like a red, there's a white, I think, and a black or something. I forgot what they are, but I usually get a blend. There's one type that actually supposedly might improve the testosterone levels, but really what it does is it doesn't really. You know what it does really with hormones, sex hormones, whether it's male or female? It normalizes its sex hormones. But I don't want to really concentrate totally on that because I think that's one of the reasons why people maybe get away from, or the average person doesn't really want to take maca because they'll think they're going to turn into a sexual animal or something. And I know there's some people that probably take it because they want to be a sexual animal, like really, extra high sex drive and libido. But most people probably maybe shy away from it. They don't really think of it for that reason. In other words, they don't think of it as just a healthful herb that gives you more energy. It's something that helps alleviate or helps you deal with stress. Now, yes, it can be called a natural Viagra in some ways. That's true. And there's different levels of how much you take. But, the other side of it is this. I mean, it's been taken for thousands of years. I know there's some warnings on it. If you take too much of anything, it's not too good. But it's like if you take a little bit of this, you're probably not going to notice that much. But you can work up a little bit more on herb. I'm not going to tell you any kind of dosages or anything like that. So actually, and one of the better deals to get maca is just to buy it in the powdered form in like raw bulk. Don't even buy the capsules. Now, I know I bought the capsules from Puritan's Pride because they're pretty cheap. It's a relatively cheap herb, but it's not just about sexual stamina and things like that. That's another thing. I know there's a niche group that takes it because of sexual stamina, but that herb maca is not really all about sexual stamina. It's about mental alertness, improving your immune function, your ability to handle stress. It has B vitamins in it, potassium, vitamin C, and it normalizes the sex hormone. So, in other words, if you're a female, you're too high on testosterone and too low on estrogen, it helps normalize those. And in your male, and actually males are being subjected to a lot of things from the environment, like these plastics and plastic bottles that destroy testosterone, so it helps normalize the testosterone estrogen balance in males because both sexes have the hormones, but there's different balances. But it's not all about that. That's the thing. I mean, I think when it's sold all the time, and I'm not selling it, I'm just trying to inform people about it, is that it's always put out there as a sexual libido, a sexual enhancer and a libido increaser. It's really what it's about. Now, is it that? Yes, it is that. But anything that improves your health is a libido enhancer. Absolutely. In other words, if you were somebody who's eating junk food all the time, and all of a sudden you went on to a vegan diet with almonds as your protein and fish, modified vegan diet, and all of a sudden you start exercising, your libido would go through the roof just because you got overall healthier. It's not like there's this magic pill and all of a sudden your sexuality just goes way up. That's the problem with some of these herbs when the people that are actually putting them out there on the market, they're constantly showing it's a libido booster. And some people also think they associate that with danger. But actually, maca is very safe. I don't even know if there is any side effects to it. Now, of course, there's a side effect on anything if you take too much of anything, obviously. But it's been around for thousands of years. The thing is, I get kind of like miffed when people are telling me, maybe some people, very few minority, about some of these herbs. But the pharmaceuticals out there have only been out there for at max maybe a couple decades for the most part, usually 5 years, and they have loads of side effects, and they all contain fluoride, which is poisonous. Now, as you're taking maca, now the other thing is you got to watch with maca though, is if it has a combination of other things in it, and it's not just pure maca, because that's when it could get a little iffy because it contains 3 or 4 other different herbs, and they label it as maca complex formula or something like that. It's not just pure maca, but it's good. It's good for you because it brightens up your entire attitude. In other words, your mental alertness, your clarity of thought, same difference, your energy, your vitality of life, all gets improved through maca. And, yes, I guess that does increase libido, but it's really more of a normalizing function of the sex hormones in both females and males. Now, it's not necessarily like this aphrodisiac like some people are claiming it to be. But again, I got to actually re-emphasize: if you was a person that ate garbage food all your life, and all of a sudden you went on a diet that was mainly vegan but a modified vegan with some fish and whole eggs and I don't know, almonds and things like that, and you took natural green food supplements along with that, and you did juicing and all that, your libido would go right through the roof. And would you say that juicing, a modified vegan diet, is a something that is an aphrodisiac? No. You know what happened? Really, what it is, it just improves your overall health. That's what maca is really doing. It contains antioxidants, it contains vitamins, B vitamins in a natural form, the C vitamin in a natural form. Like, I know there's a little bit sometimes I hear on the YouTube about ascorbic acid not being the vitamin C, but yes and no. I mean, you should really take the natural form and the ascorbic acid. You really can't take enough. That's a separate subject, but you really can't take enough ascorbic acid with just oranges or something. You'd have to have a couple hundred of them or something like that to get like the high levels of vitamin C or ascorbic acid that is optimal. But it's like, why not go for optimal health? Why not? Maca is something that the problem is when you go in your typical supermarket, you don't see an aisle that says maca. I mean, unless you go in a vitamin area, and a lot of times it's not there. And then it's under sexual, booster or libido booster or whatever, or something. It's got right on the label, and I think that makes people not want to buy it. Maybe they're embarrassed to buy it or something, but it's not really, because they think it's a niche product that's only for that. And yes, it could help for that, but like I said, overall health actually helps for that a lot too. Just your overall health. I mean, for crying out loud, actually, spinach, probably should put this on a separate video, but if you're a male and you're looking at this and you're saying maca is going to help me be more sexual, or female be more sexual, but it's not just that. It's your brain function. It's your alertness, your clarity of thought, the de-stressification, if that's a word, where it combats stress that we have in society a lot. That's what maca does. It helps you deal with a lot of stress. That's why it's a great herb. I don't know why it's not out there like candy, but the problem is nobody in the United States is a major grower of this stuff, and it's not big business in the pharmaceutical area. And if they ever try to synthesize it, they probably won't make it the real way, because rarely does anything that's synthetic, like a vitamin, I think with the exception of C, is about the only one I could actually say that's decent enough to use. Rarely is there a synthetic version of a vitamin that's worth a damn. And if they ever try to make a synthetic version of maca, I doubt it's going to work. I don't even think it's going to work. Not anywhere near as good. And maybe that will have side effects. But considering that the real McCoy, that goes back thousands of years, people have been taking it for thousands of years, it's got to be safe. It's got a longer history than the entire American medical profession has been around from day one. If you say the American medical profession, came on the scene in the early 1800s at some time, well, maca's been around many, many, many times longer than that. And it's been safe. It's been safe. And it's not just all about libido. That's the thing. But nobody in the United States has a profit motive to sell it, except for maybe some small vendors on eBay or something like that. Maybe that'd be a good source. Going to independent vendors that sell it by bulk. Probably better off buying any of these kind of herbs by bulk than rather than getting a bunch of little capsules. I opted for capsules. I've had taken Maca for a while, off and on, not all every day, but it's I never seen it to be any harmful at all. And the capsule, the one I got, it got Puritan's Pride. You know, that's one of my favorite. Do whatever you want. I mean, they when I order from them, they hit me with 50 emails and stuff about specials all the time. Kind of annoying, but they're a good deal. Not the only ones. Like I said, I always like Vitacost, Swanson Vitamins, and Puritan's Pride. Those are the three main ones I go from. But you know, other ones are out there. You want to buy bulk, but it's something that just improves your quality of life all the way around. Now, like I said, like males and females being exposed to these plastics, that's changing the estrogen balance in our bodies. Also, too much estrogen, like in females, you're thinking, well, maybe that could enhance my femininity or their breast growth. But the problem is with that is then that could also contribute to breast cancer. So you want to have the optimal balance between testosterone and estrogen in both males and females. And you know, of course, in males today, one of the biggest problems is that you know, everything's going towards estrogen with all these ingredients they put in foods and the plastics and everything else that's out there, and soy and all this other garbage. So Maca, it's not really a booster of estrogen or a booster of testosterone. It just normalizes those hormonal functions in both sexes, whether it's male or female. But at the same time, it contains a lot of things that are vital to just overall health, and overall health is libido. There's no doubt about it. It could be said that it's a natural Viagra. It's always been touted to be that, but I don't want people to think of it only as that, because that's one of the main reasons people avoid it. I mean, there's a niche group that wants to take natural Viagra, you know, and I also think that maybe since it's like a natural Viagra, it's unhealthy for you to take every day. It's not unhealthy to take every day, because of course you take massive doses of it, of course, and you know, you can always take too much of anything. But the problem is that anything that improves your overall health is a natural Viagra. I think I was going to start mentioning on something about arginine and spinach. Like, for instance, if you're a male and you're saying, you know, I want the Viagra. Well, arginine, that type of protein, is actually a lot of it's found in spinach, and that can help with the blood flow to the sexual parts of the body that can, you know, almost work like a Viagra. Well, conversely, there's other things wrong with having too much arginine in the protein, but you know, you want to have a balance between lysine, arginine, and it's like everything is a balance. One of the biggest problems we got today, we moved away from nature too much. And Maca, being that it's not one of these big cash crops grown in the United States, and you see, my opinion is it should be. I mean, you know, even if it's not, you're not in an area that is the right kind of climate for to grow Maca, there's always a way you can get around it with greenhouses. And I don't know why it's not done, because, like I said, pharmaceutical is really the criminals out there that are freaking destroying us, our bodies, and you know, just I mean, they're basically ruining the entire human experience with their crap they've cloud our, you know, our best abilities with. So even with the Maca, you might be thinking, well, maybe it's libido, maybe it's energy, maybe it's improving my health, maybe it's making me feel like I'm less stressed. But also it improves your productivity, your work ethics, because your productivity, your work ethics, and less stress means you have a better work ethics because you have a more positive, bright attitude. It improves your creativity. But it's not a drug. It's just, you know, some people, I don't know what it is. It's almost like if you know, once it gets that label that it's a libido booster, then most people shy away from it. But it's not really that. It's part of it's the reason, but it's really more of a libido booster because it helps improve mental clarity. Your de-stressifies your body. It's a libido booster because it normalizes your hormonal balance between estrogen and testosterone. So if you're a woman, your estrogen's low, you help improve it. If you're a male, your testosterone's low and your estrogen's high, it'll help balance it out the right way. So it's good. It's good. It's not and it still contains the B vitamins, C vitamins, potassium, and all that, and in the natural forms, not in its synthetic forms. Like, a lot of the synthetic vitamins are pretty much crapola. I don't know what I'll put it. So anyway, just want to put this out here real quickly. It's one of those ignored herbs, and it's not. It is and it isn't a libido booster. It is. It's, in other words, it helps boost the libido, but it's definitely not what this herb is about in aggregate. That's like a sub-function of it. And anything that improves your health overall boosts your libido. In other words, if you decided to take, if you were taking like polyunsaturated fats and hydrogenated corn oil as in your diet, and all of a sudden you substituted that for pure organic olive oil and salmon oil and coconut oil in your diet, well, your health would rapidly go up, your cholesterol would go down, your blood flow would go up, your mental clarity would go up, and your libido would go up. But then, would you say that, are the good fatty oils libido boosters? Per se, no. But it's a sub-function of it. And that's exactly how I really like to present this with Maca. It is a libido booster, but indirectly, it's actually an overall health booster. And I don't know why people aren't really, I don't know why it's not popular here in the United States. I mean, I could pick on some products that if you go in the store and you see, well, I'll pick on one right now, vitamin water, okay? I don't know why people get that versus not getting Maca. That type of stuff will go right off the shelves, But why don't they get Maca? I don't know. Because maybe it's not in the supermarket. You got to actually go search for it someplace else on eBay or something. I don't know. Or go on Google or whatever, some search engine or whatever. Dog piles and they're the search engine. And go find it. And actually, you're better off buying it by bulk. So it's just something that actually just awakens your soul, awakens your inner being. I guess I could give you all that nice phrases. Probably heightens your awareness and opens up your pineal gland and all that kind of garbage. I don't know, but it probably does. It probably does. It just makes you feel more alert, less stress free. And anyway, that's the real benefit of it. And like I said, the side benefit of it is a libido booster, but it's also a productivity booster too. It can help you in stressful environment when you're at work. I think some people maybe are afraid to take it because maybe you're a guy and you're at work and you're afraid you might chase the secretary around the desk or something because you're going to take Maca. But it might help you get over the long hours and stuff that you're putting in at work and the weekends and all this other garbage because you're taking Maca, and it'll help you deal with stress a lot better. It's like it's just that if you talk to probably 99 point something people out of the total aggregate percentage of the United States, out of 100 in the United States, at least 99.5% don't take Maca easy. But it's one of the best things out there. And I think, like I said, I got to say it again. One of the things is its reputation really got tainted by the libido booster portion of it, because that's like a sub-function of what it really is. It's really an overall health booster. So, in a stressful environment, in an environment where our hormones are being attacked unnaturally by things we're in contact with, like these plastics and stuff, we need to get back our hormonal balances in both males and females. And of course, we'll have a population explosion, but they're already talking about colonizing Mars, so don't worry about that. You heard about that, right? They're colonizing Mars already, for crying out loud. They're talking about that. It's going to be happening within the next 10, 15 years. So plenty of room, man. So if we run out of room, we're not going to run out of room on Earth. You ever been out to West Texas, for crying out loud? Even that, ain't nothing over there, for crying out loud. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. And I know I keep a stockpile of this stuff, but I don't take it every day because I got so many different herbs that I don't take every single herb every day. But I do have a nice big stockpile of Maca, and I think it's one of the most important herbs out there. I don't know if I did a video on it before, but I might have mentioned it in other videos, but I never really specifically mentioned it. And I wanted to mention it this time because I just put something out about activated charcoal helping absorb some of the toxins that we are subjected to, in our modern world, like the fluorides, the chlorines, and a lot of the poisons and herbicides and pesticides that are in food. But conversely, you know, that's one thing to try to get that stuff detoxified out of your body. But then on the opposite side of it, not just try to eat healthy, but get some of these things that aren't available in your local supermarkets and start taking them. And if somebody says this stuff is really unsafe, I don't see how, because I mean, it's been around for thousands of years. There are a few of these type of things that are libido boosters, not maca, but other ones that can be unsafe if you take them long term. But I've never heard anything really bad about maca. I don't know, maybe there's an upper limit, but if it tells you to take half a teaspoon twice a day or something, or a couple capsules, or one or two capsules a day, just you're way below the threshold where it's harmful. And considering that it's been tested out in the field for thousands of years, I could say it's got to be way more safe than what big pharma has been describing to the American population for the last 50 years, right? So anyway, just figured I'd put this out, and I think this is more useful information to you than some of the stuff that's on YouTube. I think there's a lot of stuff like biggest fails and stuff, but this is not a fail. This is a win-win no matter what, no matter who takes it, whether it's male or female. It's not just libido. It's about your mental alertness, your stamina, getting rid of that stress, taking this baggage you might feel that's on your mind or whatever it is, that from all these modern day things that maybe, I don't know, a lot of people say they're stressed or something. I don't feel stressed, but a lot of people claim they are. And if you do, maybe this maca might help you. Don't even think of it as a libido booster. And if you you knock out the stress, you're probably going to also find that you're going to be more productive, more creative, and you're going to do a lot better for yourself too, and others that you care about. So that's a positive win-win-win situation all the way around. And I think this is a better video than the top 10 biggest fails on YouTube. You hear a lot of those things going on. This is a win-win-win all the way around. And it's like, why is America not doing it? Well, let me put it this way: America is governed by big money, and big money doesn't really look out for your best interest. But this kid does.